Hi, Mike and Tara. Thank you so much for being here this morning at the LMC Media Studio for the Sound Shore Family Guide. You're both coming here representing the lower and elementary schools for the Rye Neck School District. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thank you.
So I'm Tara Goldberg. I'm the principal of the Daniel Warren School, which is our K-2 building in Rye Neck. And I think that's one of the special features of our district is that we have a dedicated building to our youngest learners, the kindergarten through second grade. And then they move up to FE Bellows where they grow that independence in the 3 to 5 building with Mr. Scarantino.
Yes, and they do such a nice job down in the K-2 school of building them, getting them prepared for that gradual release of responsibility in our grade level. So it's a really nice touch to have that Princeton model, that K-2 building, and then that 3, 4, 5 building, because it really helps us focus in on their needs at the age levels that they're at.
Yeah, so if you were to walk into Daniel Warren, it looks like a school for young learners. We walk right in. There's this beautiful fish tank that welcomes you, our library. Who you'll get to meet Ms. Kwalchik. She's going to be another feature you're going to have on our enrichment program in the district. But in Daniel Warren, we have favorable class size. That's one of the features of our district too.
Which is how many?
So it does range on the year, but this year our class size in kindergarten is really low. It's like 17 students in a class, but I would say it ranges up to 21, 22 max in probably all of our elementary classes. So definitely favorable class sizes. And it's a place, like if you walk into Daniel Warren, besides the classrooms, like into the hallways, there's just joy, there's a lot of wonder, there's, students skipping down the hallway. If you've ever driven by our building, it's this beautiful 1930s sort of castle-like, it's just gorgeous. But then inside, there's a lot of hands-on learning. There's students asking questions. There's our second graders being reporters, doing similar as us this morning, interviewing. This morning we were interviewing the tortoise that lives in our library, who's come back after a few years since COVID, who apparently has been traveling the world because we're studying architecture right now. So in the Wonder Studio, which is one of our enrichment programs, we have pictures of Fireball the tortoise, who's been at the Colosseum, at the Mayan ruins. He's been going around the world while kids investigate where he was traveling to based on the architecture. Beautiful. So that's just a fun example of the ways that when you come into Daniel Warren, outside of the classroom where we're helping students learn how to read so that when they get to Mike, they can read to learn. But they're also doing it in really fun, playful ways. Yeah.
I think one of the great things about Rye Neck and the school initiative called One Book, One Bellows, where our entire school read the book Fish in a Tree by Linda Mullally Hunt. And all of the teachers, past, present, recorded chapters of the book for students to be able to read along with the book nightly, which was really nice. Ms. Goldberg read a chapter. Dr. Latinsky read a chapter. Kids got excited. Mr. Pinto read a chapter, who they might have had for first or second grade. And just like the ability to be as small as we are and then be able to continue those connections across things. But we weren't able to purchase all of the books without the help of grants from our school foundation. And our PTSA is actually bringing in today. We have a virtual author visit with Linda, the author. So all of those unique touches that happen are really what makes Rye Neck so special, because we're able to reach out and say to someone, hey, we know a parent who was a publisher. Can you help us get the author in? Because it would just make whatever we've just done so much more special in the schools. And like Tara had mentioned earlier, having our enrichment coordinator come in and talk is going to be really fantastic, because we don't only just cover, arithmetic, reading, writing, and science and social studies in our classrooms. We really try to bring out the joy and the wonder and the inquisitiveness of students in the buildings. And I think Tara, I'll visit sometimes to come over, see second graders, or just pick her up for a meeting, and you can see they're just running around like, so inquisitive, so excited about being in school, skipping, hopping, and it's a joyful place.
It's a happy place.
And then for them to come over to us and know that we just carry that over in the same way. But we're also saying, hey, getting a little bit older, a little more responsible.
I mean, I remember when my daughter was in second grade, and then they started this new math system and everything else, and kind of teaching towards the tests and stuff. Do you feel like that's also a big part of how your teachers are teaching, or you still feel like there's a lot of wonder and creativity? And
I think if you do good teaching, they're prepared and they'll do well on what you put in front of them. I mean, certainly. State exams, for example, are stressful, but they're there, they exist. There's not a way around them at this point.
Exactly.
But at the same time, those tests are asking them to respond to a passage. They're asking them, to indicate the best answer or write about their reading. And I think those are life skills. So we take that energy and, we might need to show them what a test looks like, so they're not going in feeling unprepared, but really the work is the teaching. It's the more authentic learning that'll help transfer to those situations. I think that's more of our philosophy.
Agreed. We try to keep a balance because we do know, you can't ask a student to take an exam without seeing some of it or having some exposure to it. We take a great pride in the idea that we don't, get kids in this test prep manner prepared for exams. I think it's also a thing that parents appreciate about our schools, and that we just keep things moving along in a very balanced approach.
Okay. Well, it does sound like a really wonderful school. And I think it's very special that Rye Neck happens to be between Rye and Mamaroneck. I know that's not the reason why it's called that. We got to do some more research about that. But that is where it is. And if they want to reach out, learn more, see your schools, what's the best way to get in touch with you?
So if they go to our website or just reach out to our main office, call. We're happy to give tours. We, certainly we're the school that welcomes new families in, so we're built for that. But we definitely offer families who are thinking about moving into the district or those that already live and they have a child who's approaching being school age. We're happy to give a tour and share more with families.
And what is your website?
So it's, if they just go to Rye Neck.
Okay.
Yeah.
Easy enough.
Yeah. They just Google Rye Neck. They'll see our website, and I think it's just basically ryeneck.org.
Okay.
Yeah. Simple. And you'll see the 4 schools, the Daniel Warren, Effie Bellows, the middle school, high school, but the principals were all on there.
Well, I've only heard the most amazing things, so whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Thank you.
So thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Thank you.
My pleasure.